Well, hey crafty friends! It's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming. I'm so excited to come to you this afternoon with this adorable project for fall. It can be a bowl filler, depending on what size you want to make it. It can be a door hanger. It could go on another piece or another project. We're going to take some of this just plain old canvas duck cloth from Walmart. We're going to cut it out in the shape of an acorn. We're going to paint it, and then we're going to take it all the way to decorated. Then we're going to use hot glue to stuff it. I'll put on a hanger. Hopefully I'll remember that. In fact, I'll grab my stuff so I don't forget. And yeah, it should be really fun. I love doing these kind of little stuffed things. Like, I can't show you right now because it's on. Do I have one here? No, it's out on my front porch. Oh wait, I can show you this one. But I made a huge candy corn that is hanging out on my front porch. This is a stack of 3 pumpkins. It's 3 individual pumpkins that I stenciled, used those markers that I love so much on. And, but what we're gonna do today is an acorn, okay? And so I wanna just take you through every step. Number 1, figure out what shape you want your acorn to be. I just went to Google and I Googled acorn coloring page, and it brought up a whole bunch of different shapes, and then I printed one, and it was bigger than an actual piece of printer paper, but I could remember that the bottom was just a little point. So I don't have a pattern for you, but you can get one super easy. Just go to Google and type in acorn coloring page, something to that effect. Oh, I forgot all my stuff. Say hi. I want to know that you're watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. I think you're going to love this project. It's really cute. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so that was step number 1. Step number 2 is to lay this on your fabric, which again is this canvas duck. And I went a little bit bigger than this pattern, and this is what I have. Here is an acorn made out of this canvas duck cloth. Okay, so that's step number 2. You can iron it before you do it if it's really crunched, but I didn't. That's just completely up to you. Number 3. We are going to paint our acorn just by hand. I'm using 2 colors from Walmart, but you can get this kind of thing everywhere. This one, they're matte, I believe. Nope, this is satin. Sorry, okay. This one is called Classic Caramel. It's just a light brown. And then this one is called Milk Chocolate. Use what you have. You just need 2 different colors of brown, a lighter one and a darker one. The darker one's going to be the cap on the acorn. So let's do the bottom first. All right, and I'm working on a paper plate, and I'm going to take a brush and do a little line right here, and then we'll just use a sponge, okay? Now, if these comments right here, if you're watching this on Facebook and those comments are bothering you, they're making it so you can't see, you should be able to swipe them either up and down or side to side with either your finger, your mouse, your cursor, depending on what device you're on. I can't do anything about those, I'm so sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to make sort of like a very gradual curve. And I am just using a cruddy brush, but use what you have. Okay. So this is the curve for our acorn. In the bottom half, it's going to have this caramel color. The top half is going to be a darker brown. Okay, so I'm going to change now to a sponge brush to to apply the rest of this caramel. And okay, so I've been working on this blue mat this week, and I've had a lot of questions. My friend Deb sent it to me because she just felt like I should try to use it instead of the cake boards that look like this, that I have been using so much of, that I have to get rid of eventually after they get so cruddy. This is some kind of a mat. You wouldn't cut on it because it's not thick like that, but nothing sticks to it. Not hot glue, not paint. In fact, when I'm done here, I'll show you how to clean it up. And she said it's dishwasher safe, although I'm not sure how I would put it in my dishwasher. But she got hers from QVC, I think. And she actually got a big piece, and she cut this portion off for me and sent it to me. Wasn't that nice? Oh my gosh. So I have been trying it out, and so far, I'm liking it. Okay, so I mostly have the bottom part of our acorn painted. Okay, I'm gonna take off some of this paint real quick, and then I'll save my wipe to do the dark paint. So, I mean, look at that. It seriously just comes right off, and then I have some yucky paper towels. That's one thing. I am frugal, and so, this might sound funny, I will actually use a paper towel multiple times. So I just pulled out one that I've already used. Let's put it this way so you guys can see. Okay, so now we're gonna do our darker color. And I'm gonna throw my brushes over here in this little tub. I'm gonna take you through every step, so stay with me to the very end to see the finished thing. It's gonna be super cute. And these are just 97-cent craft paint. They're nothing fancy. Okay, I'm gonna get another cruddy brush, and I'm gonna try So, while you're watching me paint, let me just tell you what I did today. So Wednesdays are my Bible study day, and I go to a group called Community Bible Study. It's a non-denominational Bible study that we just read line by line by line from the Bible in an organized study, but it's not somebody else's opinion of what the Bible has to say. You're actually in your Bible. And right now we are in the book of Daniel. And oh my goodness, the conversations were so good. I had missed it for a couple weeks because we went to our cottage in Canada, and I guess I just remembered how much it just really impacts me, my life, my attitude, everything. So if you're looking for a Bible study, check out what your church might have to offer. If they don't have anything, check out Community Bible Study. It's abbreviated CBS. And there's classes all over the United States and other parts of the world. They have CBS International, so it's not limited just to the US. And let me think, what's their motto? In-depth study of God's Word in a caring atmosphere available to all, or something like that. Anyways, they have some classes have evening meetings, Some classes have men and women. Mine, just this one I'm in, is just women, and it's during the daytime on Wednesday. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that to you. Oh my gosh, the book of Daniel is so amazing. And as soon as we finish that, we're going to do Revelation. So that should be very interesting. Okay, I have the top of my acorn painted. So, this is what we have. All right, where do I want to put this puppy? I'm going to set it over here so it can be drying. And I don't want it to paint my countertops. Okay, and I'm going to clean this off right here. And we'll go to the next step. So I'll probably hang on to this and use it a few more times. But so far I am loving this mat. Okay, so we drew an acorn that I just Googled to print an adult coloring page of an acorn. We drew it and then we painted it in 2 colors. And here's one that I did before I came live so that you wouldn't have to wait for the paint on that one to dry. So this is fully dry, and I think, yes, on this one, I decided to try giving it a light coat of clear matte sealer outside, just like, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And we're gonna do the bottom part first. No, we're gonna do the top first, okay? And I wanna use an all over pattern for that. Okay, so this one I showed you in the beginning has leopard. This is part of a 2-part stencil from magnoliadiy.com that has leopard and dog paw prints. I can't find that piece, but this is what the stencil looks like. Mine looks pretty. It still works absolutely fine. It's just proof that I love it. I've used it a lot. Okay, so that's that one. And this one that I'll show you in a minute, because we're going to do a step with this one too. This one has the mini dots on the top, and this comes a 2-part. I could find the other piece. These are the 2 parts to that. Mini plaid and dots is, I think, something like that is the name of this set. Okay, so I use the dots for that. I'm not sure what it will look like. Magnolia has a lot of other all over patterns, like they have that Victorian lace. They have the new lace and berries. I mean, there's a lot. So if none of these grab your boat, just look on the website. It's magnoliadiy.com. So we're gonna try this. And so I'm gonna lay it on here. Move to right here so I think you can see better. And what I want to say is that I can see where my brown stencil part is under here. So I'm gonna do white ink because this is fabric and it could potentially be hung outside and it could potentially get rained on. So you could get away with using chalk paste. If it wasn't gonna get handled a lot and there was no possibility it would get wet, because this is really just a decorative thing. But I'm gonna use ink because that's what I have out, okay? The Magnolia ink looks like this. It has white lids. It's made specifically for fabric and ceramics, and it must be heat set, or they highly recommend it. So like if you were making a t-shirt or a tea towel or a pillow for your couch or a tote bag, something like that that you would want to be able to wash, you have to heat set it with a hot iron for a couple of minutes after it's all dry, and then it's permanent. It's really cool stuff. And with the ceramics, it's the same product. but you heat set it in the oven. Okay, so I'm looking where my stem is, and I'm just going to start applying my ink, and I want to, as much as possible, it's too big of a glob, stay in the dark brown area. So the only hard, and it's not even hard, but the only challenging part of this is just looking to see where the dark brown is under your stencil and then trying to work in that area only. But I'll show you on mine where I didn't go far enough on these other ones. Okay, so now I'm done with that hard part. I'm just going to do the rest of it. Oops, I missed this part. So did you guys see the post that I made this morning? I made that picture of what reminded me of Jesus in a boat, because he was a fisher of men. Anyways, and I included the lyrics to the song In Christ Alone. Well, it's so funny. My Bible's in leadership, we start our morning singing. And the lady who leads us in our song was having a hard time with the song that she chose. So I said, could we do In Christ Alone? And we did. And it was awesome. All right. Cute. Cute, cute. So here is our acorn. It's starting to come together. And I don't want this to get all over my project, so I'm just going to wipe it up. Dry it off. Okay, so then the next thing is we need to decide what we want to do here. And of course, there's a million awesome magnoliadiy.com stencils, but I wanted to do something that could take us all the way from right now through Thanksgiving. And so what immediately came to my mind was this stencil set that says, grateful, thankful, blessed, and then it has a bunch of pumpkins and that kind of thing on the bottom of it, which we're not using that part today, we're just using the words. Getting that ink off my hands. Okay, so I find that it's easier to work with my stencils if I cut them into little pieces. I don't know where these two are. I must have left them out in the kitchen. One of them says grateful and one of them says blessed. Well, that's weird. Oh well, the one I wanted is this one, this part, the thankful. It's this really cool font. And I've used this stencil 1,000,001 times, so I'm not going to fuzz it. I also want it on this one to be relatively straight up and down. So this is upside down, I know, but I don't want to handle that top until it's a little bit drier. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to get some ink, white ink, but you could probably get away with white chalk paste. And I'm just putting it through the holes on the stencil that spell thankful. And this project is cute like this. But the next step is really, I think, what makes a big difference. So I hope you'll stay with me. We'll do that just next, right after this. if you did happen to go outside of your lines on a project like this is canvas deck fabric that I just painted brown with just 97-cent paint from Walmart. If you did happen to go outside of your lines and it was bothering you, you could just paint over that area. I just wanted to mention that. Okay, I'm just pulling off the big chunks. I'm going to put it back in my little pot. Close this up. And this is upside down because I don't want to handle the top part of it. It's still wet, but this is what it looks like. And it's really cute. It's not quite as crisp as the other ones I did, and that might be because I was in a hurry. When I came home from Bible study, I had to make another acorn and paint it the two colors of brown, but this is what we have. Okay, so knowing that I would not want you to have to just sit and watch paint dry, I went ahead to the next step. And on this one, I used the mini dots on the top, and then I used the other two words from this stencil that say grateful and blessed, because I'm planning to put these two pieces together. Okay, so what I think really gives this project the absolute cute factor is the ink pens. All right, and I used the ink pens on this. You can see all those little dots and lines. This is still one of my all-time favorite projects. I also used it on this to do what we're going to do today. Dot, 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 dash, dot, 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 dash, dot, 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 dash. You get the point of it. These pins, I think stencils are awesome. Honestly, I do. And I don't understand why some people are intimidated by them, but whether you use stencils or not, you could definitely use this set if you do any kind of crafting. It's great. Okay, so I'm doing ink, and I'm trying to remember. Let's see. Yeah, it's the black ones are ink in this set. Whoops, but that's black. What am I doing? Oh my word. You could use the black. In each one, there's chalk pins and ink pins. You get a black, a white, a silver, and a gold. So I'm just priming my pen, and I started just a little touch of it down here. And then I said, wait, I want to show them, so I don't want to do that whole area. Okay, so I personally like squiggly lines with dots. Here's an example of a squiggly line. These were so cute. See the little squiggles? But you do you. You do whatever makes you excited. So I'm just going to do all different lengths of 1, 2, 3. And occasionally I'm going to get my pen primed by just pushing down on it. So I'll do some long lines and some short ones. And this is going to run into those letters there, so I'm going to just pretend that that I did a long line. Can you see? I mean, this adds so much to this project. Okay, so, and sometimes when you're working on a dark color, you may want to come back and go over it a second time after it's dry. 1, 2, 3. Let's do a long one. 1, 2, 3. Let's do a short one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I think I'm gonna do the top part of this too, right here. how am I going to do that without getting my fingers dirty? 1, 2, whoops, can you guys see what I'm doing? 3. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you could do whatever other little doodling you want on this. Okay, so I would, at this point, when I get to this point, I would get my iron out, and I want to tell you this. You don't want to put your iron directly on the areas that you stenciled with ink. This is my piece of ironing parchment paper, which I need to just go in the kitchen and get a new one because I torn this one. But I just use things over and over and over again. So I would lay this down on top of my project, use a dry iron, no steam, like not quite cotton, and I would just go over and over and over it. I could even flip it over and do the other side. Okay, so that's the next step. But that's boring, and you understand what ironing is, so I'm not going to demonstrate that, but look how cute it is. It just takes this project to the whole next level, don't you think? Tell me what you guys think. Oh, I see lots of people on. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. Now this one, I've already done to those steps. And this is the one where I had already done the dot, dot, dots. I didn't do it across the top here, which at this point I don't really have time to do that. I may come back and add that later. But this is the same as this one. Where can I grab it? It's that same stencil, thankful. Okay, so then what I did is I laid it. I should have been thinking as I was cutting things out. I know I'm always telling you guys to double it up so you only have to cut once, but I didn't. So I just laid it after it was dry on my piece of canvas, and I traced it with the pencil, and then I cut it out, and it's pinned to the back of my project right now. All right, so now, and I know this sounds like a lot of steps, but I mean, they're not hard steps at all. It's nothing complicated, and it all makes sense. Okay, so now I'm gonna just, let's see, where do I want to start? I want to start up at the top, so I'm gonna take these pins out of the top part so I can separate that right there. And I have too many things on my desk. And I'm just going to start with the stem and put a bead of blue on it. I'm using my low temperature Surebonder glue gun. It's called a Cool Shot. You can get these everywhere. It's low temperature hot glue. Okay, and I'm gonna do this side. And like you can see, well, this is the one I wanted to show you. See where I didn't take my leopard spots all the way down to the end of the brown? You might notice it now, but you probably wouldn't have noticed it before. The other thing is I didn't do a good job cutting this out. So after it's all finished, I can just come back and trim the back side. Okay, so we have it glued down on the top. Oh no, I forgot my, well, it's too late. I'll have to do the hanger from the back. I forgot my twine, darn. I'm going to use this natural polished hemp. Okay, so now I'm going to lift this up, and you can see that I've already started gluing the top. We're going to glue just a little bit further down on our acorn. if you joined late and these comments right here are in your way of seeing what I'm doing, you should be able to swipe them either side to side or up and down. I just wanted to let you know that, because I get people saying to me, I can't see what you're doing, I can only see your face. And there's nothing I can do about that. That's just where the comments go unless you swipe them away. It's how Facebook does it. And I don't want you to watch these videos with just some hands doing stuff and no face explaining. So that's why I'm telling you to swipe them away if they're in your way. Okay, so now I've gone part of the way down. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my good old polyfill from Walmart, but you can get it everywhere. This is Crafters Polyfill Dry Polyester Packing Fiber Fill. They're all about the same. If you don't have this, can't get out of the house, do you have an old pillow that you don't love anymore that you could just take apart and steal the fluff inside? That's an option. I've also seen people, me too, I've done this once before, use grocery bags, the plastic kind of grocery bags, wadded up in these things to fill them up. So that's another option too. All right, so we're just filling up our little thankful. And you can fill your acorn so it's super round and fluffy or just a little bit. That's totally personal preference, whatever you prefer. Okay, so I've put some in. I'm going to go a little bit further down, but I want to move my polyfill out of the way. Let's do the other side. I'm just going to go a little ways here on this side, but I'm going to do the tip because we'll come in from the side to finish filling it. So let's glue the little tip at the bottom shut. Come on, guy. So what do you guys think? Do you like this? Hey, where did I get the acorn? I just Googled coloring book free acorn and I got this shape. And then I just printed it on my home printer, put it on some of this canvas from Walmart and cut it out, and that was it. So as soon as I hop off, I will read all your comments. I feel like more than just talking, I'm teaching when I do these crafts. And so I want to be a little bit more focused on what I'm actually doing and telling you to do. So it makes it hard to craft, teach, and read comments and reply. Where did I get the adorable shirt? Thank you. Isn't it cute? This is my fall shirt. I found it at the loft maybe a month ago, and it was 40% off. So you might be able to still find it at Loft if you want. Okay, now I'm just going to close this. And I will manipulate what's inside of it. There's this one area where some of the glue got kind of pushed out as I was working, so I'm gonna just cut that off. And I'll come back and trim the spots where I cut the back larger than the front. So, okay, I'll come back and trim that too. Okay, there's a couple things we could do. I'm just looking off camera to see what do I have sitting over here. What kind of ribbons do I have? You could do any kind of ribbon that you might want on the stem, or you could even do something like some twine, just tied around your acorn stem. This is doubled, and I'll cut it. And then I would glue that on, and I always like to put these sort of off to the side, like a scarf. So I could do that, or you could do ribbon. And what I would do, since I forgot to do this part, is I would just add a thing on the back. But I want to show you what my thought was when I was making these two pieces. I was thinking that I would possibly glue them together like this. Let me turn it around. I'll have to cut another back and stuff this other one before I do it. But I was thinking to turn this one kind of wonky, and then to hang the two of them glued together, both of them stuffed separately but glued together underneath here, and hang them with one hanger. That's what my thought was. And I just thought, thankful, grateful, blessed, that that would be super cute. So I probably will come back and mimic the 3 dots and the dash on the top of this one on this one, just so that they look like a matched set. And I'll also add another little tie around the top. But that is pretty much it. What do you think? Isn't it cute? I love doing stuffed things. Unfortunately, most of my stuffed things, oh, let me show you this. I have already given away. I sent them out in blessing boxes and stuff. This was something I was working on before we went to Canada, and I just haven't gotten back to it. This is, okay, it's the same canvas. I used the Magnolia ticking stencil on the back of that one. I used this mini plaid on the back of this one. And then these are the pumpkin faces. There's one more. And then I glued them together and stuffed them. What do you think? Aren't those cute? And then we could embellish them. When I did this and talked about it, I showed how you could, I mean, you can get as crazy as you want with this. You could put eyelashes on them. You can put a little hat. You can do some hair. My idea was that this would be a project that would be fun to do with your kids or grandkids. And maybe you do the cutting, and you help with the glue gun. Use the low temperature one for sure. But then they do all the embellishing. So, what else do I have hanging out that's stuffed? Oh, here's another example. Oh my gosh, and I have tons of flowers. Okay, this was at Easter. We made these little stuffed Easter eggs on a pole and these little bunnies. And this is that polka dot mini stencil. So that was one. And then stay with me. I'm going to show you a couple more. This, I did a whole pot of flowers that look like this at about 4th of July. And this one has this little piece right here stenciled in the navy blue ink using the Victorian pattern. Can you see that underneath? And then I layered some ticking. I'm a little bit crazy about ticking right now. I've been a little bit crazy about it for a while. So those are some, oh hey, here's another one. Let me show you this. This was fun and it was different. Oh my gosh, this was such a fun project. These, and if you haven't seen any of these videos and you want to, you can just scroll through the video list here at DIY Dreaming and it'll pull everything up and click on the one you want to watch. These little burlap flowers are not stenciled or anything, but we called them Lollipop Flowers because that's what they remind me of. I did a set of 3, and then I did these little twirly-doos. And this just kind of happened. I really, I don't think, if I can remember right, I don't think I necessarily saw anything that inspired me. And then I glued some jute on it in a little spiral shape, and we called them Lollipop Flowers, and we put them in this container, which is not in my craft room right now. So anyways, there's so many fun things that you can do with canvas. This is duck canvas or duck fabric from Walmart. You can get it everywhere else. You could alternatively, you could use painter's drop cloth, but this is what I'm loving the most right now. So if you want to see what I have coming up next, do a this or a this. That's a heart. Say something in the comments. Check up here if you're on Facebook to see if you've liked and followed this page. If not, do that. And you can also turn on your notifications. And also I have a texting thing where I text just a few minutes before I go live, and I say what the project's gonna be. So write text if you want to join that, and I'll send you the number. So I'm gonna hop off right now, and I will come back to you with this project completed and glued and stuffed and hung and all that business. And I'll get pictures that I'll put here in these comments as well as at Facebook, just at my DiyDreaming page. If you liked this project or you like these little stuffed things, these kind of crafts appeal to you, feel free to sprinkle, because maybe it would appeal to your friends as well. And even your friends that don't craft necessarily, because I don't really do any crafts that require you to be an expert crafter. So I'm just looking at all the hearts and everything coming up. Hey, Jeanette. Hi, Hilda. Hey, Patty. Hi, Cindy. How are you doing? Cindy already wrote text. Dee wrote text. Please, I'll get that for you right away. Hey, B, how are you? Denise says, always great ideas. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. Teresa says text. Hi, Judy. So just say text to me in the comments if you want me to send you my text number, and then you're just gonna text it. I don't know if it asks you for any information. I won't abuse it, I promise. I'm only sending out like no more than 1 per day. And it's usually a few minutes before I go live, and I'm telling you what the project is so that you can decide if you want to watch it live, or just so that you know and you can come back later and watch it on replay. Because if you didn't know this, all these videos that I do here, you do not have to watch them live. You can watch them on replay in the middle of the night when your husband's snoring and you can't sleep, or whatever, when you're at work and you're bored and you can turn the volume way down. So you can watch these videos on replay whenever is a good time for you. And to find those, you just go to DiyDreaming, look for the button that says videos, click it, it'll pull up a list of about 500 videos or more. I've been doing this for 3 years, and I'm a pretty avid crafter. So chances are you can find whatever project you might be interested in looking at. Just go to DiyDreaming, to my home page, this page that we're on right now, click videos, and it will pull up a whole list, and then you just scroll, 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 scroll until you see one you want to watch, and then click it. Easy peasy. All right, well, Deb says she loves these. Thanks, Deb. Okay, well, I'm gonna say, for now, goodbye. I am very thankful, grateful, and blessed to have you join me. I appreciate you, and I will see you guys possibly later tonight. I'm not sure because I have my community group, my church community group tonight also. So I don't know. But I do have some more champagne cork projects that are in process back here in this big mess. So if I don't get that done today, I'll do it for sure tomorrow morning. We'll do the champagne corks and then we'll probably do another craft at some point during the day. Alrighty, I'll see you guys later. Have a blessed rest of your day.